on a Monday, February 3rd, 2020. 62 degrees already out there, and it is time for the Talk for Real Estate. A presentation of CWTAR, the Central West Tennessee Association of Realtors, and sponsored by Leaders Mortgage Services, Allstate Insurance, Angie Hooten Hughes, your agent, and Bird Attorneys. And Brent Ward has left the city on us again, and Duane Mangalindan. Did I get that right?
Yes, sir. Wow, that's pretty good.
I can't spell it, but I can say it.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Appreciate that.
Duane is back with us. You've been here before with Brent, and you said you're feeling a little nervous this morning.
Yes, sir. Just as nervous as the first time.
No. It's just the three of us talking and some folks out there listening in. That's all there is to it. And I start saying something like an old party line, but that'd be way before your time, so we're not going to go there. And we have a special guest today. We're going to be talking about home warranty insurance, and that's something that we need to know a little bit more about, because there are a lot of misconceptions out there about what a home warranty is all about. And Christy Stokes with Choice Home Warranty is with us. Good morning.
Good morning. Glad to be here.
Uh-oh. Let me do that. Try that again.
Good morning. Glad to be here.
All right, and just work that thing as close as you can, and you'll be fine. All righty. So, one thing we cannot forget. Now, that's the guy in the back room back there, and that's Paul Schulze. Paul is the owner-operator of Worthy Road Studios. He takes care of all of our social media, our Facebook postings, and all that. And we are live right now on the CWTAR. There's Duane and Christy, and the hand back there in the back corner belongs to Paul Schulze. We could not do this without him. He keeps us up to date and keeps us where we need to be. So, before we get into home warranties, what's going on in real estate? Y'all had a big throwdown out at the office the other day for it was for
Relay for
Relay
Life.
for Life, yeah.
Yes,
How'd
it was
that
amazing.
go? How was the day?
It was amazing.
Good.
Great turnout. It was last minute, so we want to apologize to all our affiliates. But it was still a great turnout. I'm not really sure if I'm allowed to say how much we raised for the American Cancer Society, but it was really awesome.
It was significant.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Okay, we'll leave it at that.
Yes,
That way, neither one of us get in trouble.
Right, I don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah, no.
Get banned on the
that's
radio.
Great. You know, that's one thing. One thing that I've always been real proud of the association, the Realtor Association, is your commitment to the community. You don't just manage realtors and help realtors, but you're out there. Your guys and gals are out there and making a difference in the community, and that says a lot.
Yes, sir. We try.
It builds the trust, and if you're dealing with a real estate agent, you got to have that.
I agree. But managing realtors is one thing. As a former realtor, it's hard to manage us. So
I mean, you guys are a little rowdy.
Just a little. You can't see this, folks, but Mr. Jimmy Dukes got me tied down right here, so I could just be quiet and be good.
We're gonna get him out of his shell here just a minute or so. What else have you from a PR standpoint? What else you got coming up? Anything we need to talk about before we get into home warranties?
I'm so nervous. I can't.
Okay.
Yeah, Bunko night.
Oh, Bunko night. Yes. Bunko night. It's open to affiliates. It's February 18th at the board office, 935 Suite B, Old Humboldt Road.
Yeah.
At 6 p.m. It's only open to affiliates, but
right.
If you have $25, we'll take it, because that's also going to a charity, one of my favorite charities, the Dream Center of Jackson.
Oh, yeah, they do great work. They absolutely do great work. Bunko is one of those things that I have never seen done, because I think maybe, Christy, it's more of a woman's thing.
No, it's not.
Really?
I have been involved.
I don't know any men they'll admit to ever playing it.
No, we have had events at the board, and funny enough, the men who come, they come drug to the event, and they have as much or more fun than the women.
Wow.
Because it's so competitive, it's so fast, it's action-packed. They love it.
Interesting.
Yep.
So that's coming up. When did we say?
February 18th.
February 18th. Okay.
6 p.m.
So you got me nervous now. I missed it.
Jimmy Duke, you're the veteran.
No. Let's talk about Choice Home Warranty. First of all, Christy, tell us a little bit about the company, where it's based, what it's about. Tell us a little bit about you and how you got into that business, and then Duane's got some questions, and I want to find out how a home warranty functions. What's good, what's bad. So just kind of give
Absolutely.
us a little background to get us started this morning.
Well, I started out in the home warranty business. I believe this is going to be 13 years coming up in May.
Wow, still in junior high school.
Still in junior high
All
school.
right.
That is 13 long, hot summers when you're in
Okay.
the warranty business. Because when people's air goes out, they're not happy.
They're not.
So I'm with Choice Home Warranty. I was with a competitor until almost 2 years ago, and I made the switch, deciding that I had a whole lot more levity to help my homeowners, to help them get problems solved with this
Right.
new company. They're based out of Edison, New Jersey. Tightly held firm. I've been able to go and meet with the owners. Coming up next week, my third time, and to be in a corporate world and to get to go meet with the owners of the company and
Yeah.
give feedback and make changes, to me is so valuable.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's always nice to be able to pick up the phone and talk to somebody you know face to face.
To
when
be
you have a
heard.
problem. Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. How long has the home warranty business been an entity?
Oh gosh, 35, 40 years.
Really?
It's been, it started out in California. Pretty much every transaction that happens in California has a warranty involved.
Really?
And then it kind of took over through the rest of the country after they had been established.
Right. Now, to participate in a home warranty program, is this something that you do through a realtor? Do you go direct to a company or to an agent like an affiliate like you, or how do we, if we want one, how do we go about purchasing one?
You call my number at 901-61. I'm kidding.
No,
But no, that's a thing too. So
Yeah.
there's different types of warranties out there.
Yeah.
There's the consumer-based warranties, and then there's the real estate-based warranties. The real estate warranties are usually made to help protect sellers, to protect buyers after close.
Mm-hmm.
So they're usually going to be a more robust product. The consumer side is usually what people sit in their PJs and Google home warranty, or they get an ad that comes over on Facebook or
Mhm.
wherever, and costs less, and it usually covers less.
Yep.
So there's two totally different sides of most warranties.
Okay. So if you didn't, let's say you're an existing homeowner,
Mhm.
and maybe you've made some updates, changed out your appliances, whatever the case may be, and you want to basically start from scratch and insure those, then we would go direct to you.
You would come directly to me so
yeah.
that I could ensure you were set up in the right path.
Absolutely. A lot of people, I think, not confused, but they may not know the difference between a homeowner's policy and
Absolutely.
a home warranty policy. Differentiate the two if you can.
Okay, so your hot water heater in the attic bursts.
Mhm.
It comes through the ceiling, messes up your sheetrock, your lighting, your flooring. A home warranty is going to fix the hot water heater,
Mhm.
the mechanics, the failure that dies due to normal wear and tear. Homeowner's insurance is going to do your structural, your sheetrock, your flooring, so it's structural as homeowners. We're
Right.
strictly mechanical.
Okay. So you're looking more at the bits and pieces rather than the home itself.
We're
Yeah.
what runs the home.
Right. Okay. Gotcha. When you're looking at a home warranty, is it basically I've got home warranty A, B, C, and D, or is it something that the individual can go in and say, I want to cover just these items or line items, sort of a deal?
Kind of. There's always different layers depending on the company that you go with. There's
Right.
usually the bottom layer, usually a middle type of structure, and then a top of the line. Usually the top of the line is not that much more expensive, and it's much better to go ahead and get that because of the additional offerings. That's where you would get your permits, disposal fees, code upgrades, and those are so valuable with the changes that HVAC and hot water heaters have had recently.
Oh yeah, it's a whole different
Whole
world.
different topic.
Yep. Duane, you got some questions there you want to?
Yeah, Miss Christy, what does it not cover?
It does not cover acts of God or unnatural wear and tear. A tree falls on the outside condenser. That's not normal wear and tear. A mouse chews through a wire. You get mad at your husband and you slam down that pot on your glass cooktop. That's not going to be covered.
Nuts.
We've had a lot of natural issues going on weather-wise. A power surge, the wind making something, tear up, a power surge. Those would not be covered.
Right. Go ahead, Duane. I thought you were looking.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
So, how does pricing work? I know Jimmy had asked that, but you mentioned Googling and Facebook ads and Google ads, but what's the best way?
Well, the best way is to go directly through me. And because I have a structure policy that we know is the more robust, 580 for 13 months of coverage is our top of the line product. That's for a year and 1 month of coverage.
Ooh, that's not bad.
It's not bad at all. You can also do that monthly at $48.66 a month. That's very reasonable for the top coverage to cover your systems in the house and have some protection.
Okay. Now, I have a few friends. I know that's hard to imagine that I have friends, but so I have a few friends that own some rental property. There may be a misconception about does a landlord need a home warranty, or what are your thoughts?
Well, I'm based out of Memphis, but I do business in Jackson, parts of Tennessee, and I do a lot of investor property, whether it's flipping investments or rental properties. And we have a lot of out-of-town owners, so especially them, they don't know who to call. They don't know who the HVAC techs or the plumbers are. So it's really a good benefit to them or somebody on a budget, because they're able to place the claim. $65 is going to cover most of your problems, and then they have licensed, vetted technicians that are going to be sent to the homes to take care of items.
Awesome. Yeah, that's a great segue. So for me as a former realtor, it was always hard for me to just say, hey, call so-and-so. But that's because, I'm putting my reputation on the line.
Right.
So how do y'all vet your technicians?
They go through a series of questions. They have to submit different information. They have to be licensed and bonded. Now, does that always mean that it is going to be a perfect setup when they come to the home? Is everything going to go smoothly? No. There's no way that in the world of warranties and the volume that each warranty does that you're going to be spot on every time or have a absolute perfect technician. And I think that's where a local rep comes in, especially in the real estate world, is knowing that you have a voice that you can come to look into it, to reprimand a tech, to get them taken care of, get another technician's eyes out there if something doesn't go right. I think having a voice that you can go to helps make sure it goes a lot smoother.
Wow, that's awesome. Now, the market's really good. It's a good time to sell, so don't forget to call your favorite realtor. Now, there's a lot of people out there buying and flipping homes. Would you recommend this to a buyer to call their agent to have a home warranty even though the house has been rehabbed?
Absolutely, because you're not going to just replace everything in the home mechanically. You're going to rehab. So the warranty is there to protect for those other items. Really, the main goal is everything should be in good working order to the best of your knowledge at the start of coverage. That's why home inspections come in handy. That's why any repairs that are done before close. So the warranty is not there to rehab it, but it's there to take over once the rehab's done and things are in good working order from that start point in case something fails after.
That's awesome. So if I'm flipping a house, or Jimmy Duke and I, he's got this radio money.
Oh, yeah.
So if
I'm loaded there.
Mr. Jimmy and I buy a house and we flip it,
Uh-huh.
and now we have it listed, we're getting ready to sell. Would you recommend us having a little starburst on the flyer or a sign and saying, hey, this is covered by Choice Home Warranty?
Absolutely. There's some proven facts that a home with a warranty will sell closer and faster to it will sell faster and closer to the asking price. So that's some known statistics for years. So if you have that offering, something in your toolbox that puts you apart over and above the other agents and homes out there, advertise it. Put a sign writer, put it in the MLS system, and let them know you're offering this as a close. I have investors who do flips and make sure that they offer this just for liability purposes.
Yeah. Let me back up if I can. The techs that will come out to my house if I have one and do the inspections are working for the company, or do you sub out to subcontractors and are they just on contract with y'all?
They're on contract with us.
Okay. Just because so it could be. It's not going to be somebody from New Jersey coming down here that works for the company.
We hope not.
It's going to be you want them to stay where they are,
we want
but
them
it's
to stay where they are.
it's going to be a local subcontractor.
It
basically.
is. And the great thing about us, I worked at a competitor for many years until almost 2 years ago, and they would have the same amount of maybe, let's say 6-7 HVAC techs, 6-7 plumbers. Well, those same techs were assigned all of the jobs, and they kept in the busy season would get more booked up.
Sure.
Where Choice does it, it's more of an Uber type dispatch system. We put the claim out there, and whoever is available to service faster grabs that claim.
So
we have a list of of many, many, many realtors instead of just a small list, so things go faster and claims are serviced faster.
Okay. What about deductibles? Let's say I've got an oven that goes out, and it's been there 12 years. Do you prorate that, or are these cash replacement dollars we're talking about?
That's a great question. So it's kind of a two-part answer. Service call fees are $65 with us. With
Right.
all companies, they range from $75 to $100, some even more,
Right.
which can get very bulksome, I think,
Oh,
the more
sure.
claims you have.
Absolutely.
With us, if we can't fix it, we're going to replace it. With appliances, we found that people, sometimes they want to upgrade. If they've had that refrigerator and it's, let's say, white, or that old Harvest Gold that some of us had back in the
Oh,
day,
yeah.
we want to upgrade maybe to stainless steel. So we found that people want immediate gratification. So most of the time we will offer the monetary replacement so that they can go to Lowe's, go to Scratch and Dent, go wherever, and get their own unit, and then we send them the money for it. We're going to match up functionalities, but we're not going to, just because it's a certain brand, they're not always going to get a certain brand, and that's
Right.
across the board in warranties.
Well, but you answered my next question too, because I was wondering if you could upgrade in the process, because I'm sure a lot of people want to do that. You're absolutely right.
Exactly. So that's why just sending them the monetary amount to let them do their own thing, most people really prefer that.
Cool. All right. Excellent.
Would you say that a home warranty is it a myth that it's an emergency service?
It is a myth. So let's think about it. You are on a Sunday afternoon and your heat goes out. So we are creatures of habit. I would probably be prone to start texting people I know and get them out there same day and pay a little bit more for it.
Sure.
But with the warranty, it's not immediate gratification. You've paid almost $600 for something that covers your systems all year. So it's not going to be as much of an emergency service. You need to place your claim and you may be serviced within a day or two, but you're not going to be serviced same day within an hour with any warranty company out there. So as long as a homeowner has their expectations set that there may be, it's just not going to be immediate gratification, then they can understand.
Yeah. That just brought up a situation, and maybe you've run into it, maybe not. Let's say you have that situation, and you have a plumbing situation over a weekend, and you put it into your system, and it's going to be a day or two before you get there. Can I, as the holder of the policy, go ahead and bring somebody else out there? But that would be at my expense, right? You wouldn't cover that, or would you?
With my old company in my old life, no, we wouldn't.
Yes.
With my new company, we're able to let you get your own vendor, but you have to just follow the rules.
Yeah.
They just need to call in to a 1-800 number, give the diagnosis, the price breakdown, and then we will author them for that. If you're doing it just because you want it done faster or want to use your own person, we're going to reimburse at our rates.
Sure.
Where if we had assigned for you to do that because of not finding a technician, we would pay at our rates. So what that means is we negotiate with our contractors. That's how we can be a nationwide company and cover so much for so less. So we negotiate with our contractors a lower price we can get hot water heaters or whatever the system much, much lower than a tech can locally.
Right. Yeah.
So we would just reimburse it whatever our cost would be.
Okay. Interesting. So in the emergency situation, you do have a little leeway to do what
Absolutely.
needs to be done.
And
you
that
know.
is one of the reasons I came to Choice, because I didn't used to have that leeway.
Yep.
And to be able to help somebody on a Saturday with one unit, 100 degrees outside, is huge, to be able to give them another option.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You're listening to CWTAR's The Talk for Real Estate every Monday morning here on the Mid-Morning Mix. Duane Mangalindan is our guest host today, and Christy Stokes with Choice Home Warranty is our guest, and we're talking about home warranties. We need to let everybody know CWTAR is the host of the show, and Brent Ward is typically to here, but he's away today, so he sent his number one man in here to take care of business for today. But we're also sponsored by 3 great sponsors, and these companies are very integral in the real estate business. You can't close a real estate transaction without somebody to lend the money. And in this case, it's Leaders Mortgage Services. We had them on last week, talked about all the different kinds of mortgages, how you can get pre-qualified, what you need to do. And the one thing that came out of that conversation, I think that everybody can take home, is please avail yourself of their services. If you're looking for a house, if you're going to be looking for a house, get pre-qualified. It doesn't cost you anything except a little time, and leaders in their group will tell you pretty much what range you need to be looking in, what you can afford and what you cannot afford. Then when you go talk to your realtor, you are armed and ready to go when you hit the ground. So Leaders Mortgage Services, 215-6678. Then you got to insure that property somewhere down the road, and we would ask you to give Angie Hooten Hughes a call. She is the Allstate agent in Memphis, parts of Memphis and West Tennessee, Jackson in particular. And not only can she take care of your homeowner's needs, but she can take a look at all of your insurance products, your homeowners, your automobile, your life insurance. Maybe you have long-term care insurance, whatever the case may be. Package that, get you a better rate on all of that, and make it a whole lot easier for you to deal with. So call Angie and her crew at 668-1990 at Allstate Insurance. And then a good attorney is probably the last guy you'll see before they hand you the keys, and that would be Charles Bird. Bird & Bird have been doing real estate closings and real estate law in Jackson and Madison County since 1985, and they are meticulous at what they do. Each transaction will be reviewed by Charles Bird or someone on his staff. They're going to look at real estate transactions, including research and verification of titles, covenants, restrictions, land uses, zoning, deed restrictions, whatever the case may be, to make sure that when that deed is handed to you, you have clear title to that piece of property. Bird & Bird, 424-7188, our great sponsors here on The Voice for Real Estate. It's 10:33. It is a Monday on the 3rd day of February. Duane Mangalindan is with us. He's in the power chair today, and Christy Stokes, and we're talking about home warranties. Go ahead. You got another.
Yes. So there are some big changes to the heating and cooling, right?
Yes.
What do you have anything to say about that, Miss Christy?
I think you need a warranty if you don't have one. The reason is, and a lot of homeowners don't know this, because of EPA wanted to make sure that our ozone is more protected, so they made a lot of changes recently. So as of January 1st of this year, Freon is no longer manufactured. That's a big deal. That is a very big deal. I have 3 of my original units, even though I run them to stay cool, to stay warm, they just wouldn't die before this change. So now, whether I was in the world of warranties or not, I would not be without a warranty, because when those fail, the cost of the new units is more, the cost of the new type of chemicals that go in there costs more. So it's going to be very costly. It's also going to, in some real estate transactions, some negotiations, this is going to be a thing when a buyer is buying a home with all older units. It's something to look at. The warranty will be there so that I'm not paying $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a unit. I'm paying much less than that.
You find that a lot nowadays in a lot of components of housing. I have a good friend who is a restoration contractor, and he and I refer laughingly to the guys in the little white coats, the engineers who come up with all these brilliant ideas,
right,
having never built one themselves before ever. And heat and air is one of his pet peeves, along with water heaters. Water heaters used to be simple. It was a tank with a heating element in it that made your water warm. Now you have to have a NASA technician to come and work on the cotton picking thing. So that I would think would be another area that would be something to look at as far as home warranty, especially if you've gone to the high-tech quick recovery water heaters or the tankless water heaters.
Absolutely. One of the big things about it, kind of like our cell phone, it's gotten smaller and smaller over the years.
Yep.
Hot water heaters and HVAC systems are getting bigger because of the components and the copper and the insulation that they put in these units. If you'll notice that when you get a water heater, it's going to be wider and taller. It may not always fit where it was. So we have homeowners who have to go from gas to electric or move it just because it won't fit back where they took it. Same thing with HVAC. You get a new condenser outside, it's going to be this mammoth huge box. So things in older homes, we find that it doesn't always go right back where they put it.
Yeah, I found out the hard way with HVAC 4 or 5 years ago. Mine went out, and not only did we have to change out all the units, which I expected to, but we had to change out all of the lines because you can't run this new coolant product through the old Freon type lines.
Exactly.
So they had to strip all of that out and basically start from scratch with a house that's already there, and that can cost you some money in a hurry.
And one of the things is there's going to potentially be non-covered costs, we call them. In the case mostly with a HVAC or hot water heater replacement, we may have to run new lines. We may have to change the plenum. We may have to move it over, relocate it, take the attic stairs out, whatever those items are. So you have your $65 service call fee, but you may have a few $100s more than over that. But I would gladly pay that.
Yeah.
Rather than thousands to get a new unit.
Rather than 5,000 or 6,000.
Absolutely.
Is there a cap on that, or does it just depend on the individual job?
It depends on the individual job. There are some caps within warranties, but for the most part, you're not going to hit that when you're changing out a HVAC or a hot water heater.
Yeah,
you're just not going to.
Absolutely. Got one, Duane?
Yeah. My next question was, what are the benefits of a local rep? But as you know, or some of you don't know, but we're recording this audio here at the Old Country Store, and they're cooking some fabulous pancakes.
Smells so good.
It smells so good. It's so
that's
distracting.
what you've been looking at.
And
see, I've gotten used to it. It don't bother me anymore.
It's tough when you're trying to do this intermittent fasting.
It just hit me a minute ago too.
Woo. So anyway, local rep and local restaurants. What is the benefit of using a local rep, Miss Christy?
Well, I think when you go online and you just Google something and you don't have an advocate for you, I think when somebody calls into a 1-800 number, whether it's a warranty or any other business that you don't have a face to go with, people just kind of see the writing and the rules, and there's no gray areas. So I think when you have a local rep to either help you understand a denial, help you understand why it wouldn't be covered, or to get you help if a technician doesn't act right, or whatever it is, really goes a long way. So I really tell my agents and my homeowners, I want to know if there's a problem, if there's a delay, because a lot of times I might look at something or understand what's going on locally, where somebody in New Jersey or wherever, they just don't know what's happening on the ground. So a friendly voice is huge.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, big time. The old look 'em in the eye.
Yeah.
And I'm old school, and that's the way I grew up. And there are benefits to it.
Absolutely.
And we're unfortunately losing that. But
Yeah.
let me ask you, what try as you might, somebody's going to come in, or they're going to be at a closing, and somebody's going to explain what the home warranty is all about to them. And with everything else that's going on at that point, it's going to go in one ear and out the other. What in your experience, what are the biggest misconceptions or misunderstandings, I guess is the word, that you run into when they have a claim and they say, well, I didn't, I thought it was going to be something else. What do you run into most of the time?
I think that the misconception is said that everything's covered. Just because you get a warranty, everything, every situation, anything in the house is covered, and that's just not true.
Right.
Each warranty brochure, no matter who it is, it has in there basically under each system what's covered and what's not covered.
Right.
And usually if it's not mentioned, it's not covered. And that's every warranty company out there. So it's important to, when you go to closing and you're explaining that, you need a copy of this brochure.
Right.
The problem is you're at closing, you're stressed, you're signing your life away to this new mortgage, you're having to moving trucks are loaded. The warranty is the last thing you think of.
True.
And I try to instill in my realtors, let them know a week or two after closing, remind them that they have a warranty, because they forget. And you would hate to run into them at Walmart and they've replaced a new water heater and they didn't go through the warranty.
Yep.
So that's a big misconception, that everything's covered.
Yep. We've talked about the big components. We talked about hot water heaters and ovens and HVAC units. Other things that have I'm trying to think of the proper word here, a short life.
Yeah.
A short-term life. Like carpet. Carpet would not be covered, would it? Okay.
That's cosmetic or more structural. Things that would be covered, your ceiling fan. Not the blades, but the motor, your attic fan.
Gas fireplaces?
Gas fireplaces are not covered.
Not covered.
They cover, and that's pretty much across the board. They cover the lines for the gas up to typically the key.
Yeah.
And from then on, it's kind of like a light fixture. Just because you get a light fixture, you may not be able to replace it with that same light fixture even a year later.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
So that would be very hard for us to keep up with that.
Sure.
So we just cover the lines, the switches, the things, but not those actual components with fixtures or gas fireplaces.
Okay.
Some of the other little things would be your light switches, your GFIs that won't trip. Just pretty much your faucets, your shower heads, just any little working component.
Yeah, they would be.
They would be,
Yeah,
yes.
okay, cool. Interesting. We got a couple of minutes left in the show today. Duane, anything else you wanted to cover before we wrap up?
The pancakes
Oh,
are really
the smell is
distracting.
killing me.
I know
But
you want to cover them with butter, right?
right, yes,
Okay, I got you.
absolutely. So, but do you have any like short bullet points to set expectations for potential sellers or buyers about Choice Home Warranty?
I think kind of as we talked about earlier, if your agent is not familiar with seller's coverage, I think it's a good benefit. A homeowner is able to, when they start listing their property, put the warranty in place with nothing paid for till if and when it closes. That kind of protects them. It starts the seasoning process. So if your agent doesn't offer that to you, be sure and ask them to reach out so I can explain how that would be a benefit. They are basically taking advantage of something they're fixing to be buying for the buyer. In this market with multiple offers, we do get written out of the contract, so buyers still have access to me to get covered, and it's really a good after sale liability protection for agents, because you've done your home inspection, typically you've made your repairs, and you've handed that buyer a warranty that will protect them if something breaks 2 days after closing, and it will it happens all the time.
Generally, your contract's annually renewable.
Yes, we want you to renew.
Yeah,
We want
yeah.
you to be pleased enough that
So
you stay.
if you had one that was part of the closing, that was part of your closing package, then you wouldn't have anything to worry about until a year from now when it would renew under your name. Right?
Exactly.
Gotcha.
And one of the big differences with us and the other companies is when you lock in at our 580, that's what you renew at. And you
Yeah.
continuously, the other companies that I came from or my competitors usually go up $40, $50 the next year. So this one kind of locks in for you so you know what your prices are.
Not bad. Not bad. I like a little guarantee once in a
Yes,
while.
it's nice to be able to budget.
It really is. This is a fascinating subject because, as we said early on when we first started on, there's so many misconceptions, and not to pick on anybody, and I won't, but there are always in any business there are those who don't do it the way you do it. The scrupulous people out there looking for that fee and nothing else.
Right.
And they early on, I think there were some companies out there that kind of gave that business a bad name. But what you're telling me now and what we're talking about this morning, everything's right there. Everything's above board. You know what you've got on the front end, and it's a good coverage. I know several people that are using it now that wouldn't have probably 15, 20 years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think having that local face or that local person to call helps keep those problems that might come in bad. Just you have an advocate. I think that helps.
Absolutely. Anything else you want to touch on before we move out of here?
The last thing I'd probably like to touch on is we do like to give back to military, first responders, anybody in that past military. I kind of lump teachers in there because, I had 3 kids. They were first responders in my book. We have $35 off for anybody who gives back, and that's something that will not ever go away.
That's great. Give us a contact number, Facebook page,
Yes.
website, whatever.
My phone number is 901-616-2285. That's 901-616-2285. It's Christy Stokes at chwpro.com. I would love to help you.
Sounds good. Appreciate you taking the time to be in.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Come back and see us anytime. Duane, anything you want to touch on besides the pancakes? We're going to let you go here in a minute.
know.
now.
That lady flipped some wonderful pancakes. But thanks for having me, Mr. Jimmy. You can
Yes, sir.
untie me now.
No,
so I
I'll let you go to wipe the sweat off your brow
Yes,
and
thanks
let you
for
go.
having me.
And thanks to Paul Schulze for taking care of the Facebook Live broadcast this morning for the Voice for Real Estate, a presentation of CWTAR and sponsored by Leaders Mortgage Services, Allstate Insurance, Angie Hooten Hughes, and Bird & Bird Attorneys. Every Monday morning at 10:15 here on the Mid Morning Mix.